I'm going to get right into it because we are running a little late. I am thrilled to be part of the Global Unconference community and excited to present to you all today. Just trying to get my view and my controls going in the right spot here. Okay, so let's see. Am I sharing my screen? Let's get to the right one. All right, fantastic. So sharing the screen now. So today we're going to talk about a lot of interesting and fun concepts, mostly about AI conversation design for bots and voice experiences, and as it applies to digital marketing and growing brands. So I don't work in the clinical or research world, so that means we have to build things that make money for our client partners and help their brands grow. So all this conversation will have that theme and how this helps brands gain relevance and create a relationship with consumers, because that's really the ultimate goal, right, is to create relationships with our consumers using advertising and marketing and things like AI digital assistants. So we're going to explore that. We're also going to look at the intersection of service culture design as a bit of an adaptation of the Disney way. You'll see some themes there that are common, and integrating that concept when designing your AI. So let's jump in. So I like to start with a few quotes from some people that were key to the topics we're about to discuss. God, I just love this one because it's hard to believe that this is 70 years ago that Alan Turing was thinking about things like bots, you know, and tricking people into thinking a computer was a human. This is 70 years ago. So if you're not sure who Alan Turing is, look him up. The Turing test was named after him, and the movie Imitation Game featured him. So also, I am a huge Walt Disney fan. He was one of the most amazing innovators and entrepreneurs, and my watch is talking to me. Sometimes the AI has their own ideas about when to say things, right? But Walt was, I'm just such a huge fan, innovator, entrepreneur. And yeah, the idea that there's no magic in the magic, it's all in the details, and that really couldn't be any more applicable to, you know, conversation design for AI and bots and voice experiences. And then this last one's just kind of a fun one that I like, from Brad Templeton at Google. We'll be living with fully autonomous machines sooner than later, but they'll not be considered truly autonomous until you instruct them to go to work and they actually decide to go to the beach. So I kind of like that. So jumping in, things we'll cover today, we're going to cover designing AI conversation for chatbots and voice experience, 3 pillars of extraordinary customer service, and an exploration of how these two concepts can combine, and hopefully some time for Q&A. So please ask some questions. I think you can type it in the chat. And so that's what we're going to cover today. A little quick about me. I am the president and founder of Big Buzz Marketing Group. I host a video podcast called The Buzz Bubble. Check it out. We're going to be restarting soon, and I speak about AI, conversation design, digital marketing. And in a former life, actually was a recording engineer and a drummer and a rock star. No, not a rock star in that last one, but a little fun. Yeah, we gave it a shot, did this for quite a number of years. That's me in the middle. Hopefully you get a chuckle out of that. And that's my wife in the lower right. The band has long since broken up. The marriage, on the other hand, is doing well, and I am here with her in lockdown, along with my 3 kids and 2 dogs. So it's been a fun journey. So that's a little about me. So let's jump in. So have you had a chat with a bot this week? You probably have. If you've needed anything, if you tried to get help buying something, you know, you probably have. And did you know it was a bot or human? And honestly, did you really care? You know, statistics are showing that consumers don't care how they get the help. It's that you solve their problem, right? Or help them achieve the goal that they're going for. So That's really what matters. And big brands, brands of all sizes are using chatbots. These are some of a few brands that are making a mark with really well-designed bots. And it's not just fun and games with tech. Bots are making real business sense for brands, as evident in this statistics right here. Chatbots will generate over 8 billion in global savings by 2022. So, and it's already happening right now. So bots are not only for customer service, they're there to sell. They're there to reduce expenses. They're there to sell and upsell, as we'll see later when we discuss Rose, the most famous chatbot in Las Vegas. So we're going to dig into service as well. And customer service accounts for at least half of what bots are delivering, right? Arguably, a well-designed service culture will also help you sell, not directly selling, but good customer service does help sell. Extraordinary service can create a brand reputation that creates customers for life, a goal of ours, and it's part of our purpose statement. Extraordinary service looks different for every company, though. Depends on the products, services they're offering. But there's always one thing that creates a differentiation, whether working with customers face-to-face, or over the phone, or through technology. And that's the ability to consistently create an emotional connection. And premier brands get this. So what does it look like? So we were actually doing a workshop for culture design for one of our client partners. And they said many of their customer service representatives, many of their employees don't even know what 5-star service looks like. They've never experienced it. So they need some guidelines, right? How do we create a structure to train and deliver on this consistently? So, and then, how do we apply that concept when building a bot conversation? So one of the companies that's most famous for extraordinary service is Disney, right? I hope many of you have visited Disney and experienced that Disney magic. It's kind of an intangible, but it's not magical. It is very deliberate and structured. So if you have been to Disney, you can give me a thumbs up or a smiley face if you have that control available. But even if you haven't, we'll show you how to create extraordinary UX, CX, that customer experience, that extraordinary customer experience. A little of the magic behind the magic. So then the question really isn't, can we do it? It's like, why can't we take that structure and apply it when building our AI digital assistant, our bots, our voice experience? I think we can. But first, let's dig into bots a little bit and why they're so important right now. So it's important to cut through all the hype and talk about what value a bot can bring and ultimately provide. So really that scaling of one-to-one communication, and that is so vital for companies to maintain and nurture relationships with their consumers and creating loyal customers for life, because that's what the ultimate goal is. And well, beyond that, you want to have your loyal customers become brand evangelists, but we'll get there. So what did it used to look like? So call centers, people on phones, answering tons of phones, it was great for years, but not so much anymore. It's expensive, lots of people, lots of salaries, lots of training. It's not so scalable. Scaling up, and these days even scaling down can be challenging. And then it's inconsistent. That human that gave an answer at 10 a.m. to the same question, and then that same question comes up at 3 p.m. Maybe they haven't had their snack or their coffee yet, and the bot doesn't need snacks or coffee. It's going to give the exact same answer. So unless you've also, you can create some personality and give slightly different answers, but that's probably too much in the weeds for today. Bots, on the other hand, maybe the initial costs are higher for some folks that are trying to get into the bot world, but it really isn't in it. There's a huge ROI. They are totally scalable. One question, 1 million questions, bot doesn't care. Worst case, you throw some more servers at it. it's consistent, it's smart, and they can have context and know what was said not only just minutes ago, but through your whole profile, and use that context to deliver better answers. I find nothing more frustrating than getting handed off to a human and say, hello, how can I help you today? I'm like, seriously? I just spent 10 minutes with your bot outlining all the things that I'm having challenges with. Please, please read that. So bots also kind of address that issue. So, and why bots, why are bots becoming so successful? Because, the fact is the medium itself is ubiquitous. Chat, SMS, talking with our thumbs, basically. 3/4 of the planet using messaging of some sort, right? People's preferences have changed. We're now in the messaging age, basically. So messaging is something we all do every day. It's the preferred communication method of the largest consumer group on the planet. So, and everyone is after reaching this consumer group, the millennials, right? Like Alex here, who lives with his parents and prefers ordering pizza online so he never has to talk to a human. Yeah. I'm a little Alex at times. I think we're all a little bit Alex from time to time, but the point I want to make is that it's another option. Chat is another option. Of course, you've got email, you've got phone, but chat is just another option to solve their problem. And most don't care if it's a cup and a string if you solve their problem. So this is one of the reasons that it's gaining momentum. It's where people are communicating already. So let's put something for your brand in that space. So here's a quick use case I'll walk through. So we have a brand, a parking brand in New York City. We've all parked cars, I hope, from New York City to France, wherever you are. You pull your car in and your car comes back missing one side view mirror. So your reaction, you want to call and yell at somebody, or if there's an experience already set up by a brand to make it easier, because you really don't want to get on the phone and start having a yelling match. Here we show somebody that says, oh, I had damage. Okay, great. How can we help? Starts doing an intake. So it's asking the questions it needs. Do you already have a claim number? Did you previously submit a service ticket? And would you like to get an update on that? We could do that. Or I'm going to walk you through submitting one. So something that is actually more efficiently and consistently done well with a bot, and avoids that whole opportunity to yell. I mean, you can yell at a bot, but if it's programmed right, it'll be courteous all the time through. So, and then this is something I wanted to address because AI in the bot world is really thrown around maybe a little too much. Honestly, the bulk of what is AI and bots is around natural language processing, or NLP. It's really where most AI and bots live. It's mostly about phrase recognition and accessing the best responses based on what it's interpreting you're asking for, what's your intent. So, as a definition, that NLP is the ability for the bot to process free-form text or speech and understand the user's intent. So this is a quote from one of my favorite people, Clara de Soto. Used to present with her, but now she's over at Google changing the world. But she would say, think of it like when Luke Skywalker talks to R2-D2. He talks to him in plain English, doesn't have to do it in beeps. R2 has excellent NLP. So I miss Clara, but she's a wonderful person. So that's a little about how NLP really helps bots be more efficient and more responsive. Quick example, something that I loved, I think I mentioned this a little earlier, some real world examples. So Rose is the most famous chatbot in Las Vegas, Nevada. She is quintessentially Vegas. She's sexy, she's playful, a little bit naughty, and all those things you'd expect from a bot in Las Vegas, right? So that said, she is highly lucrative. She's a lucrative part of the business marketing strategy. Let's just say the rubber hits the road, or better yet, hits the bottom line when average on-premise spending at the hotel increases by almost 40% when you've interacted with Rose, the chatbot. So, and you can take her for a spin if you like. She's one of my favorites in my iPhone contacts, but save that for later because I know she's a lot more interesting than me. So don't do that now, do that later. We got a lot to get through and we're running a little late. So let's not forget about voice. That is the other AI digital assistant. And the challenge, you know, it's ubiquitous and there's billions of homes that have them in there, right? But what's a brand to do with this medium? We really haven't figured out exactly how to market, but we are starting to figure it out, and it's easier in some verticals than others. So, but the thing is, if you've already got a conversation designed for your bot, why not enable it in a voice skill, right? So we'll take a quick look at an application we're currently involved in. It's a large hotel brand launching a new select service hotel chain. It's going to be very tech forward, frictionless, lean on staff, high on tech, and very much chat and voice enabled. So Big Buzz is handling the integrated conversation design for all AI assistants. We're also working on developing a consolidated content portal for managing all the dynamic things like, you know, where do I get the best burger? What time is the music in the lobby tonight? So these two mediums need the same information. So we're building a consolidated content platform to handle that. So, and that will create efficiencies for everybody involved. So, and create higher value for our client partners, which is what we're always looking to do. For voice, we often partner with Valara, a fantastic platform, just a great group of people as well. For this one, it's Valara along with Alexa for hospitality. And it does allow for some really cool practical things that would absolutely take a call to the front desk if you can actually get through, right? So instead of that, Alexa, bring me some more towels, right? That can open a ticket in their maintenance system and trigger someone coming to the room. So we make connections to third parties too. Can be platform agnostic. Hey, Google, what time is breakfast? So we can do Google Assistant, of course. And some more fun things like where can I play golf? So there's a lot you can do with voice, especially in this hospitality vertical. So we're having some fun with that. And what are the guests saying? High engagement, high guest satisfaction, most important for high value clients, right? So a lot to say about voice, but this time is just flying by. So I'm going to keep plowing through. So creating a chatbot forces you to do one thing. We do encourage at Big Buzz all the time, is to put a structure around your service culture. Bot scripting and decision tree creation, that all forces you to establish a tone and voice for the brand through this new delivery method. So I want to show you a system that we've kind of, you know, many have used this. It's something that's very much based on the Disney way, but it allows you to create a structure around your culture, around how you deliver customer service, which is really extraordinary. So integrating structured service culture into your brand provides your employees or your AI with the tools, parameters, and criteria that enable them to provide a consistently exceptional service experience to customers and one another. That consistency is difficult at times. So 3 elements in priority order. And companies like Disney, Southwest, and Amazon, you know this, but you must make an emotional connection with your consumers, right? So this service experience that we're talking about structuring, you know, is well beyond the purchase of a product or service. It's about how you make people feel. So this is so important. So the first step in this is your statement of purpose. It is not a mission statement, and it's more of a common overarching goal. One example, we'll use Disney's. Theirs is, we create happiness by providing the best in entertainment for people of all ages everywhere. And honestly, you know, they said they're cool if everybody just remembers we create happiness. That is really that's the purpose statement. Each day they walk into the park, that's what they're there to do. And this system will help all ladder up and support that statement of purpose. The second pillar, standards of service. These are 3 to 5 words providing criteria for delivering service excellence. If they're prioritized clearly and defined, the standards of service act as tools helping the employees to make appropriate and relevant decisions that deliver consistency on service excellence. That's what we're striving for, is service excellence. So, and that supports the statement of purpose. Supporting the standards of service are the standards of behavior. So these are explicit behaviors supporting the standards of service that can clearly describe the expected and non-negotiable behaviors to consistently deliver on customer-centric culture. So clearly defined behaviors associated with these standards of service eliminates any kind of interpretation. You know, everybody has a slightly different interpretation of what makes great service. So this all comes together in a framework that was originally developed decades ago as a system for people to be trained and manage to deliver extraordinary service. So it's a foundation that includes tools for delivering consistently exceptional service. Kind of, doesn't that sound like something that could be really well used when designing conversations? And I think so. So chatbots and customer delivery, something like that. Really, one of the goals is delivering consistency, right? So I think nothing is more consistent than a bot. I think the perfect combination of taking that type of structure and applying it to the design of your AI conversational bots and voice experiences is the way to go. Just a couple slides, and I think we're going to be able to end on time. So it's important to understand that you're never just building a bot as much as launching a conversational strategy. It's constantly evolving and optimizing and growing over time based on how your users are actually interacting with it. So I think that's one of the most fun parts for me. I think it was Clara who said, building a bot is a marathon, not a sprint, but you should sprint to your initial launch, right? So sprint to that MVP, minimum viable product, that you can launch, and start inviting interactions. You learn so much more from letting people interact with your bot, letting your customers give you information about what they want to talk about, rather than sitting in a boardroom and trying to anticipate that. So doing that is one of the things that I think a lot of people miss. They wait too long to launch. And then build character, you know, build a tone and voice that's aligned with your brand, and it'll be a successful journey. And I'll leave you with this, and I don't think we have time for questions, but you know, you can email me. There's my information on the next slide. But you know, we're not trying to build a fake human here. It's like the Wright brothers. They didn't try to design a plane that flapped its wings, right? So embrace the nature of a bot, and be open and transparent that you are a bot, you know, when it's a bot and when you're handing off to a human. Have fun with all the things a bot can do that a human can't, and build that into the personality of the conversation. And then, you know, you've got a high chance of creating an AI that your customers will love, and in turn create love and loyalty for your company and your brand. So that's it for me. I could take a question maybe if we have 2 minutes. Not sure how I can receive those. I think it's either in the chat or phone, but I'm going to slide to the next slide. Oh, here's one. Okay. Luke asks, what about privacy? Are you concerned about privacy with bots and AI? Well, of course I'm concerned. We should all be concerned, but I'm not overly concerned, because it's, you know, we've been concerned about privacy ever since we were a web dev company 20 years ago. So what you're seeing now is the emergence of very well-designed bots in the healthcare space, which has the utmost need for privacy, and the banking space, also obviously very much a great need for privacy there. So, you know, I think you just do it responsibly and choose your partners wisely, because some platforms are more private, you know, they're more privacy ready than others. Some specialize in banking and healthcare. So that was a great question. Thank you. And I don't want to step on the next presenter. So thanks so much for listening, and have a great day. Thank you. You can reach me, and feel free to email me at kevin@bigbuzz.com, or look me up at BigBuzzKev. Thank you.